When you hear the word reflexology, you probably think of this idea of condensing the body down into these little map regions onto your hands or your feet, and then you press a specific region on your hand or your foot and it magically heals another area of your body. And although there is no research that shows that that is what's happening and that these map regions exist, there are actually still powerful, profound benefits, reflexive benefits to stimulating key regions of the body. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about the 3 key regions that probably matter most and talk about these reflexive responses that can help us feel more relaxed, can help reduce muscle tension, can help you give you a better body awareness, where your body is in space, and to help you move better because how well we move is related to how well we can sense, perceive our body, and a key component of how we sense our body has to do with our sensory receptors. And a key sensory receptor, the one that I have in mind, I like to call them the body's natural position sensors. They allow us to know where we are in space. They're called proprioceptors. Now let me give you an example. If I close my eyes right now, I can hopefully touch my nose with my finger, with my eyes closed, all right? And I can do different hand signs here with my eyes closed because these proprioceptors allow my body to know where I am in space. Now, when we stimulate these receptors, these proprioceptors, when we can stimulate them, they send signals up into our nerve pathways and they act as a little reset in the central nervous system. And that's where we get those benefits. When we reset those little loops in our nervous system, that's what can help us relax, help reduce muscle tension, help us have a better body awareness, and help us move better. So I said I was going to talk about 3 key regions. Region number 1, let's talk about the bottoms of our feet. And it makes sense that we have a lot of these receptors in the bottoms of our feet because in the bottoms of our feet, that's where we spend a lot of time taking in the world around us, our environment, allowing us to know where we are in space. So lots of information coming up from our feet and going into our nervous system. And another note about the feet is because we've constrained them in shoes for so long, and because we walk on such even terrain surfaces, we don't get that good quality sensory information coming up into our foot. So this is the reason I'm starting with this one, because this one is so valuable. And one of the ways that you can just stimulate that on your own is to use these little balls. Now, these are special little fancy balls, but you can use a lacrosse ball, you could use a tennis ball. And there's not a right or a wrong way to do this. This is make it your own, explore your body, and you can roll your feet right in through here. You saw me, I kind of put my heel down and I roll back and forth. Sometimes I'll fan my feet out. I'll get on a certain region and I'll fan my feet out. Sometimes I'll clench my feet. I'll roll back and forth. You can use, another ball. We're going to try to get the middle part of the foot, right there in what's called that plantar fascia. Get more towards the heel. Get more towards the outside of the foot. But you just find key regions and you roll that out. And again, what we're doing here is sending that information, sensory information up to the foot, into the spinal cord, and helping with these little reflex arcs that will help with relaxation throughout the rest of our body, especially our lower extremities, our hips, our knees. This can help with people with low back pain. So rolling the feet, getting that stimulation into the balls of the feet is very healthy. Now, I said 3 regions. Let's talk about the other 2 regions, and I'm going to kind of combine these 2 together because they're very similar as far as the density of how many we have in the body. But the 2 other key regions are in the base of the skull, right here, what's called the upper cervical region, and then also at the very lowest part of our low back, there's an area called the sacrum. This is really interesting to me as a chiropractor because some of the older techniques that were out there, the more popular techniques for the longest time, focused on those 2 key regions. So you had chiropractic techniques called upper cervical technique that focused in on this upper cervical region And they felt like if you adjusted this area, everything else just kind of magically would fall into place. And then you had Logan Basic is a technique. They focused on the sacrum. And they felt like if you align that sacrum, well, everything else is going to magically align going upward. And you have techniques called sacro-occipital technique and cranial sacral technique. So you've got all of these techniques that really focus in on these two key regions. There's not magic on how you have to stimulate it. If you get massages in those regions, especially chiropractic adjustments, those can help stimulate these reflexive pathways that I'm talking about. These reflexive pathways, again, that can help you feel more relaxed, can help give you better body awareness, and can actually help you move better. So those are the ways that you can tap into the powers of reflexology.